shall we get into the conversation proper? Because I've been waiting for us to do this. Okay, on today's episode of Lifestyle 360, we're looking at something very important. It's overcoming self-doubt. And I feel like growing up, all of us have something, not all of us, but quite a number of us have something that always tells us, not you, you're not the one. You know, there's somebody else. There's just that. Or some people have to deal with that. Anyway, the truth is, if you are feeling tired of being held back by your own uncertainties and your insecurities, we just hope that at the end of this episode, you can be able to break free from whatever it is that is making you doubt yourself. I'm having this conversation with a dynamic force in the entertainment industry. She is known for her skills as a filmmaker, a producer, and a brand influencer. Now, she started with filmmaking, and then I think she was the story producer. Not I think she was is the story producer for Real Housewives of Abuja. So if you caught that show, you know that my baby girl's in the background doing background things, and she has also built an online audience of how many million followers? How many 100,000 followers? Okay, over 200,000 followers on TikTok, and she's also built. She's a coordinator of Just Business Connect, and she's the CEO of Sophie Keys Eateries. Okay, so you'd know that her hand is in. She's an octopus doing like a lot of things, but there's a lot in the creative industry. But the story of Sophie Keys, Sophie Keyen, didn't start here. The journey didn't start as being, a chef and a mom and a wife and a movie and film producer, director, and a creative and an influencer. It started somewhere, and that is what we want to know. Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Blessing. Hello, Abuja. Hi, everybody. How are you today? It's a pleasure to be with you.
How are you feeling being in the studio?
I'm feeling very perhaps.
Okay, I didn't know that Chuni was coming to the studio.
Chuni is coming. How can you leave Chuni outside the door?
I really thought that Chuni was in Jos and Sophie came to Abuja, but looks like Chuni is here.
There is no way that Chuni, she didn't day here. She have to day here with you.
I was going to start this conversation off, from your roots, growing up and whatnot. But where did Chuni come from? That's where I want to start it. You brought her here. So
yeah, I brought her here. So Chuni happened to me. Chuni was never premeditated. It was just me goofing around with a couple of friends, and I was like, hey, let's shoot a video. And it was the pandemic. I really didn't know that people were looking for content to, binge on.
It wasn't deliberate. It wasn't like, I'm really trying to.
It wasn't. And Corona was new. Everybody was freaking out. I was freaking out. And the first thing that came to my mind was, hey, somehow we have to deal with this thing. And the first thing is, let's calm the mind first. And then I took my video with my mask on my face, my mud on my face. And
it was that kind of
Yes, that kind of random morning when I was like, I tried to encourage people, but in just accent, obviously, the Rome accent. And afterwards, it went viral. People kept asking for more. It was overwhelming. Because coming from a place where I loved my space, I know they like stress. But, more words. Are you people not feeling the corona? So it was, at first it was like, these people are disturbing me. They're disturbing me, my space. And then I realized that it was touching a lot of lives. It was making a lot of people laugh. Someone told me that I literally took her through some dark times. She was so close to committing suicide, and then she saw, how you leave your phone and your status would just
it just keeps.
Yeah, it just fell on it, and then it took her attention, and she binged on
the content, and she was fine, So if it can save one life, then it's a reason to keep going. Was there internal pressure?
No, not really.
There was no pressure. It was just, I'm just having fun. Let me keep doing it.
Yeah, there was, and it came naturally. The moment you just put the camera and you go action, it truly just comes.
How did you balance being? Because I know that you are married to someone who is also in theater, someone who is also in the entertainment industry. How did you guys balance you being actively involved now in the same comic space as him? Was there a tussle? Was it easy?
It wasn't easy as such, because he had been in that space longer than I had, and this is someone that He's always on air. He's always pushing. This is his space. I had the talent as well, and we were friends. We used to act together back in the day in school and all of that. So he knew I could act, but I never for once thought that I would branch into comedy or anything like that.
Or skit making.
Yes. So somehow, you hear a lot of side talks about, oh, your wife is better, blah, 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 blah. But really, we had to pay deaf ears to that because, I mean, we're a team. His win is my win is his. So, no be family we be. More they go. More they go.
I remember one time I had a chat with your husband. Then I hadn't met you, but we happened to work in the same place at the time. And I was like, oh my God, I saw your wife's videos. Like, they're everywhere. I was in the salon. People were talking about it. And he was beaming with so much pride. He said, yes, now me marry and keep for house. And, was that some level of encouragement? Was it encouragement for you to go on?
Yes, he was my number one fan because I remember that the one person that could shoot and edit at that time was Dimi Shakara. I could shoot a video and then it would be with him for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He wouldn't touch it. And so my husband was like, instead of depending on this person to do your edit, why don't I buy you a new phone? Shoot your skits and learn how to edit. I literally taught myself how to edit, and it made the work easier. It made it easy for me to just, generate content, put my subtitles, and then in a day or two I'm done instead of waiting for someone else. So I was forced to, be resourceful. I was forced to teach myself. I was forced to thrive, and I was forced to just be on every social media platform, from all 7 of them. All.
Is there anybody that you had to look up to at the time, building that career, especially in the part of Nigeria where you were building? Was there anybody doing the same thing you were doing?
Yeah, I would say I always, there was this comedian in Jos. Then he was the only indigenous comedian, late MC Longs. So I adored him and all of that, but silently. And honestly, I didn't even know that I had it in me. And after MC Longs had passed, this is almost 10 years down the line, the next thing that looks or resembles the likes of him is me. And I didn't see that coming, but it kind of resonates with me. And aside that, I think I always liked Jennifer too, from Jennifer's Diary. Yes.
Oh, now that you say it, I'm seeing the semblance in your characters.
I always loved her from the days of I Need to Know. She was BC, I think, in that particular soap opera. So that was my favorite series as a child. I was learning from it again because I was growing and all of that. So I really liked her from there because she had something about her that was genuine and real. And I didn't want it to be that I was struggling. This came naturally for me, so I wanted others to share. This was what I used to do with my friends behind closed doors, and people that are in my circle.
This takes a lot of drive and courage, right? Is this something you've always had growing up? Have you always been one to stand up for yourself and just take on your own path and not have charge ahead?
You can say that's not that coconut. I have coconut heads. A little bit of a sprinkle of stubbornness here and there, but when they knock me, I come back to my senses.
Okay.
So I wasn't always outspoken. I was really shy. But then if I was at home in my comfort zone, you would get to meet the real me. And I think it happens all the time. There are people that think I'm very timid, but when they come closer, they realize that, I can be a chatterbox. But well, this is where it has brought me.
I want us to go back to, I know we had a conversation once, and you mentioned how there was a time you had a phase where you didn't like who Sophie was. It was almost like you didn't know who you were. You didn't like the person you were. How did you get there?
First of all, when the money she didn't take, my sister.
So it's the Sapa?
It was Sapa. Oh, it was Sapa. Sapa will bring out the creativity in you.
Okay.
But then it wasn't always the Sapa as such. But I think I was going through a lot, which I wouldn't want to disclose.
Okay.
Yes. But I was going through a lot, and then I was depressed, and I didn't understand my emotions. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know where to turn to. And then it was left unattended until it became an ill health. you know. So I struggled alone. Imagine going through depression, and then it was a time where you don't know where to find any therapist, because people will tell you, now white man sickness, you know, and you know that everything is not okay. It got so bad that I was hearing voices, you know, and from morning to night, you could hear something, they tell you, say, to kill yourself, no, they hungry you, or kill yourself, you know, that's a trailer that is coming. Is it not looking delicious? You can just, you know,
jump in front of it.
What's the worst that could happen, you know? So those voices, and then I had to be stubborn. And then it got to a point where these voices were constantly there. I didn't even know that what I was going through. Later on, I got to find out that I had an anxiety disorder. Yes. So it was obviously health related, and I would have easily gotten help, and I did not know, because of the period at which it was happening. Yes. So this was me having to voice out, because I knew that the first step to my healing is to talk about it. If I don't share it with anybody, they're not being winch. They're not feeling what will happen. No.
Especially when you have a bubbly personality.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, so the first thing that happened was I cut off everyone. And going from your phone ringing from like every 5 minutes, you're on the phone with somebody gisting for long hours. That was my person. I was bubbly. I had friends all over the place. I never lacked where to go for Yahoo. No, I could go visiting everybody in the hood, man.
Yeah, got it.
Then all of a sudden, I just went off the radar. I went under a rock. Literally, I had to go visit one of my uncles today to tell him I'm sorry. I haven't seen him in 7 years.
And it started from that time when you were battling the anxiety disorder.
Yes, exactly. And nobody knew what I was going through. In fact, you know, it got to a point where, as far as I was concerned, I was just waiting to die, because I wasn't getting better. I had all sorts of symptoms. I would go to the hospital, they would check, they would not see what is wrong with me, or they would see something. Today they will see hyperthyroidism, tomorrow they will say this one is this, your cholesterol level is this. So the wiring of my body everything was just scattered, you know. And then I wasn't getting any better. I wasn't at all. So at the end of the day, I just met somebody, and somebody said something. He said, no matter how you try to talk to somebody, a lot of times, a lot of people will not understand. They might always end up pushing you into that dark room because they don't understand what you're going through. So just the only person that can work on your mental health is you, and just always tell yourself that your cup is always half full, no matter what the situation is. And so I had to start giving myself pep talks. I had to start challenging all of those voices. If you tell me make I fall in front of the trailer, you not sweet you to fall in front of the trailer. Why be saying I'm me? Or you voice, or whatever you call yourself, why can't you just tell me that I will find money on the road inside Ghana must go? Must it be that it's trailer that wants to hit me, you know? So I started challenging it, then started working on my prayer life as well. You know, it was a difficult phase. But then there was something in me that kept reminding me to keep pushing, that kept telling me that if there wasn't something deposited in you, if there wasn't greatness or something that some people or someone somewhere would benefit from, the devil will not pick interest.
Were you Trini at this point?
I wasn't Trini.
Oh, this was pre-Trini.
This was pre-Trini.
Okay.
Yes, it was pre-Trini. So I knew that I had something to give, and for the devil to carry my matter for head like this, and for me to be hearing negative voices from morning to night, aside the fact that it was health related. Of course, you know, say we'll be Nigerians, we're Christians, we will say that the devil is at work. So let's just say, as at that time when I was naive, I didn't know what was going on.
Let's cut and balance the plans of the devil.
So as far as I was concerned, there had to have been something greater, or something good was going to happen for the devil to carry my matter for head like that, you know. So I kept pushing. So you'd say that you're saying that you can fight depression. You can. It's the healing starts from you. You have to see yourself by yourself, for yourself. I don't know if I'm making sense. You have to value yourself enough before others can see what they can value in you. So if you don't love yourself, you must love yourself first. You must look at yourself and love yourself. If you don't love yourself, I'm sorry, you won't be able to give what you don't have to any other person. You'll just be broken. You'll just be moving like a shadow, you know, with no purpose, with no aim, no direction. So you have to love yourself, and you have to appreciate yourself. And coming from, I'm the second child. And Jesus, I was ugly. My ugly duckling stage was not giving what it was supposed to.
No, it was supposed to give ugly duckling now.
Sister, if you
So
see
it
the
gave.
picture, it didn't give. Even the ugly duckling will shame when he see me that time. So I was like the dark-skinned one in the house. Everybody was this stilled, fine child. So when they come,
A little bit of caramel, you know.
Yes, and my younger sister was light-skinned. So when they come around, Jenny, I resemble houseboy that time. No be like
Houseboy.
and I hated making my hair. So it's not like I was making it easy for my mom either. So I really didn't get all the nice attention and all that. Instead, you just hear Blackie. Why you ugly like this?
Ew.
So all those things were getting to me. Momsy was always working. She was always at work, you know. So there was nobody to say, oh, come, let's work on your self-esteem or take your words of affirmations. I mean, there's a lot that we need to teach our children these days. As much as you think those things don't matter, they do. The first time my mom told me, you're a beautiful young girl, gee, I look mirror like 5,000 times. Check the beauty out. Mommy say I'm fine. I go smile, give that mirror. Mommy say, so that means it boils down to.
Do you remember how old you were the first time your mother told you were beautiful?
Bro, I was like 17, 18.
Already?
Yes.
I remember the first time a person told me I was beautiful, and the person said it in a way that I remembered. Her name is Fiona Henry. I'm never going to forget her. We went to secondary school together. And in secondary school, I felt very not seen. I was very tiny. They used to call me Pockety at the time. You can imagine. And I was in an all-girls school.
Yeah.
I was in SS3 already. All my mates had, I was not developing at all.
I think we shared that.
Oh, yes. We were way behind our mates.
I'm telling you.
I remember the first time you knew how old I was, really, and you were shocked.
Yes.
And the person, I was like, you people are fine. I can't remember how I said it, but I didn't know it came from a place of a lot of low self-esteem. And I said, people are very fine now. Let me just stay. Something like that. And she looked at me with shock. She looked at me like she just heard somebody commit a crime. And she said, you are so beautiful. But Casey, what are you saying? Are you seeing your eyes? Do you know, I wish I had your eyes, and then I hated my eyes because I have bulging eyes. I still do, but now I have cheeks that have covered the space. Imagine when my sister, trust me, we shared that ugly duckling. And she said, you're so beautiful. She said it, I can still remember. It was in front of my bunk. It was in our apartment. It was so beautiful, and it stuck. It stuck. That was the first person. And, I was already in SS3 when that happened.
So I think I just finished secondary school.
Yeah.
So when my mom said that, I felt the need to fix my nails. If you know, I used to travel from Injos. We used to live in Rayfield. I used to go to Janta.
No.
To go and fix nails. Because there was only one guy that was popular for fixing nails.
No.
Nails that time was 300 naira. I will disturb my uncle. So they will give me that 300 naira. Once I have like 1K, I'm a beauty queen. Braids is 600, nails is 300. The remaining 100 naira na transportation.
What generation are you from?
Oh God, I just told you my age.
Yeah, because you just did. Braids 600.
Braids 600. Go on that bridge, see magic. 2 hours, they don't braid your hair finish.
So that's basically like some 20 minutes drive, 30-minute drive.
Yeah, basically.
Without traffic.
Yeah, without traffic.
There was never traffic.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You they find traffic. Now what for you? Now Okada. You blow by 30 naira, you don't reach where you go. Now what for you? Achaba. In just it was Achaba. Which kind? Now what for you?
Yeah, I remember. And
so, well, it's picked up from there, and then before, if you dey pass as a young girl, if you hear hello,
you've made it in life.
I knew I was beautiful, auntie.
So does that mean that some of the advances you got from people outside made you feel wanted, made you feel seen?
Well, yeah, it contributed, but not entirely, because at the end of the day, the people that matter the most, when it comes from them, see, you can face the whole world. That's why it's important for a mother or a parent to, constantly put it in their child's head that you are all that you need. You can give the world. You have so much to give the world. So
how did you not feeling, how did it make you feel, the fact that you weren't seen, you didn't feel beautiful a lot growing up? How did it manifest in your adulthood, and how did it tamper with your esteem? At what point, when you were an adult now, at what point were you like, I have some self-esteem issues, these are the mistakes, this is how I know?
Okay, so I had this really mean friend. She was supposedly the closest to me as at then.
It's always them.
It's always them. So it be like say that day, I don't know what happened. No, be say I don't get shoe, so I want one oversized shoe like that. And for God's sake, we went to a funeral. You know say my shoe no good.
No, but
why won't you just shut up?
Why are you wearing the wrong shoes to a funeral?
I don't get shoe. I don't get money. I don't get shoe. Now what for you? I don't go wear the shoe where I get. I go without shoe.
Go ahead.
So when I stood, there weren't seats to sit on. So when I stood, the space, the back of the shoe had a lot of space. You know, my legs, my toes were
were gripping.
Then they were gripping. They were overflowing. So instead of this idiot girl to cover my shame,
oh dear Lord,
she was the one that was now laughing, and then she was pointing to the other ladies to look at my feet.
Look at your shoes.
I felt horrible. I said, are you serious? You're the one that's supposed to be covering my shame for me. Now me and you leave house. If you get extra shoe you want give me, why you not go cover my shame? Now you can't come and go and show people my shame. And the thing is, the ladies that were there, everybody was looking so nice, smelling so nice, and it felt bad because I couldn't afford
those things.
And I didn't really feel the need to belong, but I knew that there was always a battle within me to want to look good. I don't want me to disrespect me. I don't want to say what I want to say on radio. What's in my head? The NBC will look for us.
Please don't.
Yeah, I won't. But like, you know, I wouldn't want to go somewhere and then you'd be the laughing stock. That felt really bad. I didn't want that. And so I felt, even if na spinach I want to go buy, we go slay. So I took it upon myself as my life's mission
to always
to look good. To pepper even the one that does not want to be peppered.
The fact that you're doing it in a city where everybody is looking good.
My dear. And then I got to realize that it doesn't take so much. So the misconception I had was that, I had to wait to have, then 50K was a lot of money. I had to wait to have 50K.
Girl, I prayed to have a 50K job at some point. That was my life's dream.
You know, not 50K, man, not 15K now for you.
No, mine was 50K. I had bigger dreams.
Very high tests. Me, I don't get that kind of one that time. But then the idea was, I was hoping that someday manna would fall from heaven and then I'll go shopping, you know. Not knowing that, do you know that Jos is the biggest okrika market in Nigeria? Do you know?
You are doing for
if you enter okrika, you will see designers.
Designed.
And so I started small. I said, it can't be that bad. Let's go and buy legims. And I bought legims. Then I was like, how much be top? 500. We can do this slaying thing. Okay, one step at a time. And then I realized that looking good made me feel good. You know, I did not have any more concerns anymore. I didn't have to be worried about my looks. And then obviously you are dressed the way you are dressed. So it started commanding a little bit of respect. And I was like, I think I could get used to this. And so I started investing in looking after myself, because as far as I was concerned, I was negligent at some point as well. Because, I mean, what business did I have not looking good and not wearing good clothes?
I mean, do you think that the negligence came from a place of low self-esteem? It's like, nobody will notice me after all, so let me just blend in at the back. Let me not.
And you'll be very surprised to know that a lot of people are watching it. Like someone told me that what she was waiting for me to just tie, you know, these two sets of wrapper. Say they go local choir, Zumunta, now they call them for Hausa. Say it just remained for me to tie two wrapper before she go no, because as far as she was concerned, I was miserable, I was suffering, and you know, that gave it was a bad look for my spouse. You know, it was.
So you were still battling low self-esteem even as a wife.
And he was always encouraging me, wear this one, wear this one, and I'm me with my coconut. As far as I was concerned, the world has ended upon my head. So for who? You know, who am I doing it for? That was it. And then I couldn't be bothered. Like I would just go wear nonsense and go out.
Did it affect your marriage in any way? Your relationship with your spouse? The way you were neglecting yourself?
Well, he was really a simple person, so he didn't complain much. He didn't complain much, and I get stubborn.
And now that you know you have idea changes, now that you know you've upgraded, you're like Sophie Keys. But has it affected? Has it changed anything in your marriage?
Yes. Of course. Over time. In fact, when I started dressing like that, I could see that he was so happy. And I didn't know that was another reason why he didn't want to go out with me at some point. Yes. And me, I would not be vexing that see this guy because I want to follow you out. You don't want to go with me. What's the meaning of that? I'm not saying I look like Eba. Now why? Ooh. That time.
And now he's carrying you everywhere.
Say we'll go everywhere together, baby. Let's do this.
Now, if you could go back, what are some of the lessons you wish you learned before, evolving?
So I wish
earlier, rather.
I wish I was happier. I wish I didn't waste so much energy, dwelling on the what ifs and what people said. I wish I listened more to myself, and I wish that I focused on the positive energy rather than the negative energy. Because at the end of the day, to what end? What is it doing in my life?
So that means you still have negative thoughts about yourself some days?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, especially in the creative industry.
Space, yeah.
Yes. There are times where you feel I'm not enough. There are times where...
do you get the imposter syndrome sometimes?
Yes. Sometimes I get stage fright. Yes. A lot. I'm human. And then it's from when people now, try to encourage you. Somebody said something today that brought me to tears, and she was like, that you don't try, I beg. It's your time. It's your time to shine. It's your time. You don't try.
Totally.
And I was like, you people have been watching,
Oh, absolutely.
And I was like, so at the end of the day, it paid off, that you wake up every morning, you decide to take one day at a time, and it's making all the difference that you thought you couldn't make. So at the end of the day, it was worth it, and it still is. I'm still a work in progress. I am not there yet, and I'm hoping that those experiences were lessons for me, to, and if I see someone going through it, somehow I recognize that look because I was there, and it helps me to help them. So
what does it do for you when you can reach out to someone that hey, I can see where you are right now. I'm reaching out to you. What does it do for you?
Like I said, it was a lesson learned. So I don't come empty. At least I know how to guide you through that lost maze of nothingness. I know what to say to you. I know what helped me. Even though I had to do it on my own, but I know what helped me, and I know what to say to you to get you to look within yourself and see that you are beautiful inside, outside. There's a lot that a lot of people looking up to you. There's a lot you can give. So till today, it gives me a lot. In fact, I've chaperoned over 30 youths right now, and I can categorically tell you that they are doing so good, that I can see how confident they are in themselves. I can see. So just me doing this, my very first event is, it like wedding
for your body.
It like wedding, like
you're feeling like the bride.
Triumphant entry.
You're the bride.
It's a victory on a lot of levels. So, and I know that it's also a platform for the youth to also be seen and be heard.
Would you say, in closing, because we have less than 20 seconds to wrap up the show, would you say that the battle against defeating self-doubt is a constant journey? It's a constant battle. It's not something you stop doing. You just keep going. Yes, it is a constant battle, because as little as one negative word can ruin your entire day. And you can allow it to linger and it will ruin your entire week. But you need to learn how to trivialize some things sometimes and look for solutions. Immediate solutions. What can I do better? What if I say it the other way? And then consciously try to maybe be nicer to people, because you actually really don't know what they're going through. So basically, that's it. Thank you so much, Sophie Kiss, for joining us on the show today. I had such an amazing time talking with you. I've always wanted to have a chat with you on air and put you on the spot. I did today. I saw you tearing up. The fact that you can hide it in your voice doesn't mean that our YouTube audience did not see it on their screens. If you want to see her tears, Okay, no, don't see her tears. But please check out this episode of Lifestyle 360 and every other program that goes live on VOP 96.1 FM on our YouTube channel. It is VOP Abuja. My name is Chinwe Blessing. Thank you very much for doing today's episode with us, and have a beautiful, beautiful evening. More music coming your way, and the world news at 6 comes up at 6.